With the announcement of Guilty Gear Strive's new roster for DLC, I figured it would be a good idea to see what the new characters would play like. I made it my job to go through all of Lucy's action sequences and see what she would play like in Guilty Gear Strive. Now, I know no one asked, but I'm not opposed to Lucy being in the game, but it's such a weird choice that like she genuinely doesn't really have much to work with. Honestly, I guess we'll go through every single clip, see what could be implemented into the game, see what could be used for like a cutscene, and then I guess go on from there. Upon review, within the show, Lucy has about 3 prominent ways of fighting / getting away. 1 being her hacking, 2 being her gun,
is this nigga serious?
And 3 being the laser string. Yeah. Each one can be used in unique ways. I'm just not sure how Arc System works once I go about it. And considering the fact that Lucy doesn't do too much hand-to-hand combat, it's really hard to determine what her light, medium, and heavy buttons would be. There's one instance where Lucy actually does something physical to an enemy within the show, which would be the Arasaka employee. I forgot his name, my bad. And it seems to be like a really heavy kick that makes him fly off the screen. That could probably just be her down heavy. And I'm thinking it might have like some forward momentum like Elfeld's down heavy, but other than that, I'm not too sure what they would probably put that as. And that's the only melee attack she does. Now, considering the fact that the anime doesn't really help us out too well in figuring out what her light, medium, and heavy buttons will be, we can talk on the 3 aspects that I mentioned earlier. The gun, the hacking, and the laser string. I feel like the easiest one to start off with would probably be the gun. Off of the top of my head, there are only 2 ways that they could possibly implement this into her playstyle. One would be they go the Elfo route, where they just make it an extender to her buttons so she has a little bit more range and it's actually more realistic, because we already know that within the show, Lucy doesn't really have very long ligaments and she doesn't really have much robot parts that cyberware is what the word would be. She doesn't have too much cyberware to extend any of her range. She just doesn't really get it installed. So I feel like going the Elfo route would probably make more sense. I feel like I'm more so down for that than the comparison that I'm going to make, which would probably be an ammunition system, where she's somewhat like a watered down version of Happy Chaos. Now, I'm not saying this off of my bias of disliking Happy Chaos. I'm simply saying I don't think Lucy's entire game plan needs to be surrounded about an ammunition system, because we only see the pistol a good chunk of times within the show. So I feel like I'd probably save, if any of these 3 need to be implemented as a main important part of her system or game plan, it'll probably be the hacking, which we will get to soon. So yeah, alright, now for the laser string. The laser string is probably one of my favorite things that I saw her use within her arsenal, which is not really much. And honestly, I find there to be some unique things that they can do, but my brain's a little too small to really think about the unique aspects. One of the thoughts inside of my head is probably the idea of making it her grab. She has a grab where she wraps the enemy around in her laser string target and she pulls it through. Kind of like Machi from the Hunter x Hunter game, or like how she did within the show with like the Japanese samurai, the assassin guy, whatever, you know what I mean. Or maybe even something like Baiken's air grab, just without all the extra white fluff around, you know? 2, the second way that they could probably use that is by making it kind of like a long-ranged whip. However, even within the show, she doesn't really use it as a whip. She more so uses it as like a tangling device. Or, you know, as it implies, it's a hot laser, so it just cuts the enemy. So I don't really see it being used as a whip for far-ranging moves. However, I felt like I might as well just put that in there just in case. A third way that I saw it being used within the show was when she was on the run with the Arasaka, I forgot his name, you know, the guy who's like in Breaking Bad. She was running down and she was jumping from building to building, but she used it to wrap around certain metal things to slow the fall. And I was thinking that they could possibly implement that into the same so she has some type of air movement. But honestly, it sounds like a cool idea. It's just you kind of need too much. She needs to be able to hook onto something. And then the 4th way that they could possibly use it is as a parry option. Now, within the show, she's never really parried anybody. The closest thing you have is when she was fighting the Japanese assassin, and she prevented David from getting hit by wrapping the wire around his arm and then pulling it through. You get the point. And 3rd would probably be the hacking system. Now, I don't really know how they would do the hacking system. There's many different ways that they could go about it. They could either make the hacking system be like a debuff thing, or they can make it a simple grab, which I'd probably be against. I feel like that's the one unique thing that you could have about Lucy. It's just, how does like Lucy hack somebody like so bad guy? It just doesn't really make much sense to me, but I mean, they added her in the game. That's their fucking problem. They gotta deal with it. I honestly wish I had more for like this entire video, but truthfully, she's so limited. Our System Works is probably gonna have to pull some shit straight out of their ass. They might be able to implement some stuff from Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. However, I don't know anything about that game, so good luck to those guys, alright? Lucy is a character that I'd probably be very interested in playing. It's just, it's really hard, like I said. The hacking could really go any way. It's just, I don't know how they'll do it. I don't even know if they'll really give her like a gunshot mechanic to the point where she could actually like shoot a bullet as a projectile. But like, I'd rather not see the bullet move at the same pace of a fireball, so they're gonna have to make up whatever the fuck they can make up. Yeah, but that's really all I got. And like I said, truthfully, if you want to implement some naked scenes, I am not opposed to it, bro. Because like, why not? Why not? Anyways, that's really all I got. If you guys have any other ideas, whoever decides to watch this, and you kind of want to put it in the comment section, go ahead. I'm not really too good at this. This is just the thoughts off of the top of my dimmy dome, alright? Bro, at least one of these scenes. Just one. Just fucking one.